What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Laywills, and I'm here with my girl, Tampa, on the industry's most wanted podcast.
Damn, Cass, this shit gas.
Everything I do hit the gram and go viral. I've been fire. Pyromaniac, but I ain't claiming that. Words leaking out my cranial since days of Similac. Sip, 9 months in the womb made a big old kid. But 9 months in this game made me rip it to shreds. Paper cutter, paper chaser, double cupping on my blessings.
What's going on, man? It's your girl, TampaMystic, and we are live on the industry's most wanted podcast.
Wanted.
Laywills in the building. What's going on, my love? Looking all beautiful.
Oh, well, thank you. I had to match your beauty up in here. Okay?
First and foremost, that color is giving.
Thank you. Shout out to my hairstylist. P.S. I'm Slay.
Yes, and the other beautiful young lady came with you. The colors are radiant.
Thank you.
I love it. Absolutely. Introduce yourself.
Well, what's up, everybody? My name is Laywills. I'm from Charleston, South Carolina, and I am an actress and a rapper.
I know that's right. She out here working, doing her thing, most definitely. Are you still residing in South Carolina?
No, I live in Los Angeles, California now.
What? You in L.A. with
West
it?
Coast, West
I know that's right. Throw it up, West Coast.
Yeah.
No, that's dope.
Thank you.
Before you move to L.A., let's take it back to South Carolina, though.
Come on.
That's where you grew up at. That's
Oh, yeah.
home for you.
Home.
What was it like growing up out there?
Man, it was nice, you know. I feel like it was very real. Everything that I experienced kind of set me up for adulthood, which I'm very proud of. Like, sometimes there were moments where I'd struggle and whatnot, but I needed all of that in my journey to just propel me to where I am now.
100%.
yeah.
All of our struggles that we go through, we can't skip them.
No.
We got to trust the process, right? Even though there's some things that we wish we could skip through and go over, but you know, it's all a part of our journey. Did you aspire to do something different other than music when you were young?
You know, actually, yes. Music just got into the picture for me.
Okay.
So with entertaining, however, I always knew that I was built to perform. I just didn't know how. Like, I was an actress first, so I knew, okay, like, I'm going to be in front of people.
Yeah.
You know, my face will be seen, my voice will be heard, but the music, like, that just elevated me over the last few years.
Absolutely.
Like, yeah, it's been crazy.
So let's talk about how you got into film.
Okay.
Because I know a lot of artists, they start out as artists and then they head over to film. You did it the opposite way, which, hey, there's nothing wrong with it. It's your journey, right?
Yeah.
How did you get into film?
I always had a love for acting.
Yeah.
You know, I just knew that I would be on screen. And so for me, it started off with theater.
Yeah.
I was always on stage doing musicals and stuff, like from grade school.
Yeah.
And then even in college, still studying like more theater, doing like adult plays now. And then when I was graduating college, I came into my first production. Shout out to Shots Fired. It was filming in Charlotte, North Carolina at the time that I was graduating. And so I started doing like background work, and it turned into featured background work.
Dope.
And then like from there, I love set. So I was trying to get on any set I could get my hands on, and started doing like production assisting. And now I'm a second AD, and it's evolved into so much.
That is so dope. And I'm glad that you understood the assignment. A lot of people don't understand that you have to get in sometimes at that ground level and work your way up.
Oh, yeah.
But not only do you appreciate the process, you learn so much from being behind the scenes, right?
Oh, yeah.
Would you have done it any other way?
Now that I'm here, no. No. When I was going through it, I'm like, what in the world? Like, I feel like I got to take all these extra steps. Like, I'm just trying to get there. But each time I reach a new level, I'm like, oh, so that's why I had to do that before.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We have to trust the process. I have a friend of mine, he recently did his first movie, and he was telling me the same thing. He was like, throughout the process, he thought that everybody else he hired was going to handle this, and this, and he ended up doing so much himself. But he's like, I'm so glad that I did, because now I know how to put a movie together from front to back. Can't tell me nothing.
That's the part I'm waiting on. Learning it from all angles.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what was your first role?
My first role actually was a commercial.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, like that's kind of like where I got my start, you know, just doing like a lot of like commercials. They started off locally in Charleston.
Yeah.
And then kind of started expanding from there. And I got my first national commercial like last year.
Oh,
so that was insane.
congratulations.
Shout out to Vaseline, these beautiful lips. Yes.
I'm quite sure the men took it another way. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, she in a Vaseline commercial.
Wait a minute.
Hey, but us as women, like, yeah, these lips is soft, baby. Now that's dope. Congratulations on that.
thank
What was the
you.
first commercial?
The first commercial actually ended up being like the first major one that was local. It it was like a commercial where they were kind of like, it was a spoof off of Oprah when she did that, you get a car, you get a car, you get a car. So like it's me in this like blonde wig and I'm like, everybody gets one, yeah. Like and I'm hollering. And you know,
That
the
is
crazy thing
hilarious.
is when you do something like that, it's like, okay, this is just a moment. But no, like it still runs on TV and people will call me like, girl, there you go again, hollering.
Like, oh gosh, let's move on to the next one.
Okay, come on now.
But that's dope though. It's always somewhere you got to start, right?
Yeah,
How
for
many
sure.
have you done since then?
Oh, since that first one, like I know about like 12, 13 now.
So
Yeah, so it's
all
been
right.
nice.
So there's a lot of people who aspire to do what you do. They want to get into film because when I interview a lot of these artists, I ask them if film is an interest. They say yes.
Yeah.
Give them a gem.
Oh, okay. I'll give my favorite gem. As far as like transitioning between industries, because like you said, I feel like I did it backwards.
Yeah.
So a lot of times people start with music and they go into acting.
Right.
And so like it may be hard to adjust, but for me, I took my acting into my music.
Yeah.
So like I feel like a lot of times when we have musical pieces as artists, those are different stories.
Yes.
So it's all still in the umbrella of storytelling.
Right.
So the same way when you know you perform that song and you're feeling those emotions or that energy driving whatever you're talking about, you got to take that same type of energy and put it into your character if you're trying to act.
Man.
Like live that truth. You live that truth in your lyrics, now live it in a story.
Absolutely. And I've
Yeah.
heard a lot of actors say that once they're on set, like they don't even want to be called by their government name. Call me by my character name so I can remain in character.
Oh yeah, it helps.
You know, most definitely. Have you done any full-length films yet?
Yes, I have. I can't say too much because they're they're
Still in the
currently
works?
they're in post production right now. So we just
Understood.
want to make sure everything gets going with them. But you guys can be on the lookout for a couple of gems.
That is dope. How long did it take you to film?
Oh, it wasn't too bad. It was about like a 5-week process.
Oh, that's not bad.
So yeah, and then actually in one, I'll drop one of them. One of them, I was blessed enough to work on both sides.
Yeah.
So you'll see me in front of the screen, but then I also was on the production side of things
Nice.
as well. And it inspired me to have the opportunity to do both.
Absolutely.
It definitely did.
So what's the difference for you between doing commercials and doing film, if any?
Oh, I feel like commercials is just, first of all, there's a money difference. Y'all can hear me? There's a money difference.
Run her coin, please.
That part. But also it's just, the length of the story. Like a commercial is quick, it's fast, it's just high energy and then we're done.
Yeah.
But a lot of times with full features and everything, we have to go through that entire journey.
Yes.
Because if we're not going through the journey, we can't expect the audience to go anywhere with us.
100%.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Is it tough to remember all them lines? That's where I would have a hard time because I forget so quickly.
Oh man. It can be a little difficult, but I'm like a shower line learner, if that makes sense. Like all my acting people, y'all understand. Like the same way some people just sing in the shower.
Yeah.
Don't come by the door while I'm in the shower. Because I'm talking to myself, but I'm not crazy.
Yeah.
I'm running lines.
Yeah,
You feel me? So, yeah.
absolutely. That is dope. I just want to go back to how you said that you starred in a Vaseline commercial. I want to make a point with that. Vaseline has been around since the dawn of time, right? It's been around
Right.
forever, but they're still making advertisements, even though everybody knows who Vaseline is.
Right.
I think that's a valid point to make within music. Artists, even if I don't care how big you get, you still got to promote your stuff.
Yes, you do.
Every big brand out there, Nike and Crest and Vaseline, they all still have marketing and advertisement.
Right.
So that's just a good thing to think about for these independent artists. Think about like these big brands, they're still putting thousands, if not hundreds of thousands in advertisement.
Yeah.
It's no different than an artist coming up in this music business.
You're right.
That's why you hear. No, that's really dope.
Yeah.
So do you prefer one over the other now that you're doing music?
No, actually. I'm waiting for the merge. That's
Okay.
what I'm
Yes.
that's listen, my futuristic goal is to be making songs for films and
Absolutely.
television, So when that merge happens, I feel like that's when like the flame.
I know that's right. It would be dope to have like that theme intro song for like, like BMF, for example. Of course, 50 gonna have his music in there, but you know what I'm saying? Like everybody watches that. So if they heard your song every episode, that would be fire.
Yeah.
And all that money, because, all that, residual coming in. That is dope. What would be your like dream role that you would want to play?
Oh my gosh, it's gonna sound so cliche, but I'm waiting on that big rapper role.
Okay.
I'm just waiting. Or if I had to like be serious, it also is a rapper role as well. But I always said I wanted to play MC Light in a documentary.
Ooh,
that in a
would
biopic.
Be
I mean,
so
I just love her light. Obviously, MC
Yeah.
Light. And I just feel like we just sometimes like I can identify with her cadence that she has, and then the voice and just her all around swag. Like I feel like I would really be able to embody that in a film.
Annihilate it, most definitely. We got to put it out there to the universe
Come
to make
on
it
now.
happen.
That's why I was like, let me tell you now, so that way we can circle back to this. Couple years
Absolutely,
from now.
we're gonna chop this clip and post it every single day until it happens.
Yeah,
that is really dope. So, what made you decide to transition into also doing music?
I realized that I could do both.
Yeah.
Because it took me a very, very long time to see that, honestly. Like, because I was so involved in my acting, I just was very afraid for a long time that I would be typecast.
Yeah.
Because that was a thing, if I'm this, because if you heard the bars, sometimes they go crazy, So I was just like, if I go so hard with these bars and this energy, like, how will they ever be able to see me in other
Understood
lights,
Yes.
So, but it wasn't until like shows started coming up, like, Star or like other things like that, where I'm like, okay, hold on, because they rapping, they acting, but they can also go here, they can do like they started making more room for us.
Absolutely.
And I'm just like, all right, well then I got something to say, and I'm gonna say it loud.
Especially as a female.
Yeah.
I really think that the women are dominating right now. There's a lot of dope men out there, a lot of dope fellas. No shade to the fellas.
No shade.
But the ladies are definitely doing their thing.
Yeah.
Who would you want to share the big screen with if you could?
Ooh. I would say, honestly, there's just so many, because I just
you can give me a
heart,
couple.
My heart. I feel like it would probably be like Queen Latifah though. I think
I
that
love her.
Yes, like out of a lot of the people who do the crossover.
Yeah,
I feel like I'd learn a lot from her because she did it well.
Yes, she did. Absolutely, and everything that and she's played multiple types of roles.
Right.
From her being a little gangster to her being in love with that movie. I think it was Cameron was in it. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's so dope.
All of it.
Most definitely. That is dope. So what took you to LA?
Oh man, the industry, of course.
Yeah.
And the weather.
I'm sure it's beautiful out there all the time.
It is. It's been raining a little bit lately, so we got to stop that.
Yeah, what's up with that?
Gosh. But outside of that, like the weather on the day-to-day is pretty good over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So out of all the places you could go, why LA? I mean, I know that there's a lot going on for entertainment. Is it because of film?
Yeah, it was film.
Yeah.
Because when I moved to LA, I had even just started doing music. So
Okay.
the music hadn't really like completely taken me over the way it has now.
Yeah.
So like when I went to LA, it was more driven for, acting.
Absolutely.
At the time, yeah.
Would you say moving out there has been beneficial for you?
It was, but for me specifically, I got there like a year before COVID. So it was like as soon as I was getting stable, getting on my feet, like, oh yeah, I'm confident. Like, we got this.
Everything
like,
shuts
I
down.
was like, I can go home for this.
No, for
I'm
real.
just inside my house paying this expensive ass rent. Like, can I? Like,
Facts.
yeah, so.
And it is very expensive out there. So let's talk about that. Being that you just moved to a brand new city and state, COVID hits. What did you really do during that time to keep yourself active?
That part, for a minute, it was because I don't have a lot of people who support me, because I can't live off of a lie. So it was very much an adjustment. I'm very big on mental health. So,
yes.
just everybody I know was dealing with like a lot of like just relearning themselves.
Yeah.
And relearning how to adjust with so much downtime. Because when you're a very active person,
Yes.
like most entertainers are,
100%.
we don't know what to do with downtime. Like, we take a nap, but like we got to be on the go. So after I adjusted, however, I was like, okay, well, if I can't get outside and work, what's the best way to work and still make use of what I can do? Because everything in LA was closed. They was not playing that. They was carding at the door. If you don't got vaccination, you can't come in. You can't do this. This is shut down. So me and a girlfriend of mine, shout out to Lorraine, we just decided, you know what? Everybody was dropping music at the time, like the mainstream artists. And I'm like, all right, well, if I can't really get out there and perform because everything's closed, shoot, these artists dropping all these songs, I'm going to just show everybody I can do what all these other artists can do. So 100%. I started jacking everybody's beats and just did like a 13-track mixtape. I mean, covering like The Baby, Meg Thee Stallion, whatever songs were, Cash Doll, whatever songs were hot at that time. I'm like, let me just play with this beat. Let me see how it sound on it. Went to the studio, recorded that whole thing in the day, and then me and her like just went out to places that we could get into and shot a 13-song visual to each little freestyle.
I know that's right.
Like, how do we work without
you find a workaround.
Yeah, work around.
You
that's
find
exactly
a workaround.
What we did. So.
No, that's dope. I love the fact that you still stayed active. You didn't allow that to get in your way.
Yeah.
It's about making adjustments. You know, during that time, I was doing all virtual interviews. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, I didn't want to sit next to no one. They didn't want to sit next to me. You know what I'm saying? So we were doing virtual interviews. I'm like, we ain't going to stop working.
No, you can't. You can't, especially when this is your life. And like you said, it also, that's where the mental health comes in because it also, like, drives you. Like you were saying earlier, you love this. This is your passion. It makes you happy. So if you take that thing away, it's like, how do you sustain?
Absolutely. And mental health is very serious. A lot of people don't want to admit. It took me years to admit that I get anxiety. I get a lot of anxiety and I'm cool with talking about it now because I feel like the more I talk about it, the easier it gets to deal with the things that give me anxiety. You get what I'm saying? Most definitely. So let's talk about your music. After you put out the project where you were jacking the beats, which is dope. I love when artists start out like that because to me, it really shows like your versatility. Yeah. Because you're on so many different type of instruments, right? Instrumentals. What was the first song that you put out that was actually yours?
Ooh, it was Snacks. Looking like a snack.
Looking like a whole snack.
A whole snack. Yeah. It was Snacks.
So tell us about that song. What does it mean to you?
It just means understanding that I had the ability to do what I did. Yeah. You know, because I created that song in less than an hour. Man. You know, like I was just playing around with some homeboys. They was mixing a beat at the time, and you know, I like freestyled at first, and they're like, "Hold on, keep going." Yeah, like, that sound like something. And then from there, we rushed to the studio, made it a song. I wish you could have heard the first version. Oh my gosh, because I was just like so new to the studio and everything like that. But once you know, my engineer got a hold of it and mixed and mastered. Shout out to Twindy First Studios. You know, I realized like this is a fucking hit. Yes. And it was solid. And I'm like, if I could do that in less than an hour, like let me sit down and really like get in the bag with it.
Absolutely. So since then, have you put like a home setup where you can record yourself at the house? Yes. I kind of figured you did. I'm like, she a whole boss. Of course she's got a home setup. Because I heard what you said. You said we rushed to the studio. Yeah. That happens a lot because when you are in a certain mood or vibe or energy, right, you want to get it off right then and there. And the studio may not always be available, so you got to have that space inside your house to be able to get up and just walk to the next room and go lay it down. Even if you just record yourself and send it out for mix and mastering. Yeah. I think that's important. What is your creative mode like? Do you write? Do you just sit down and write, put it all together?
I am definitely a writer. I'm an old school hip hop head. I need the paper. I need the pen. I just transitioned to the cell phone a little bit. Okay. But yeah, if that's definitely my go-to. I just feel like it gives me the room to just let it all out, and then we just edit it later.
Absolutely. I think it's important because it goes along with this mental health we were talking about. I was sharing with my doctor. I'm like, I get anxiety about this and that. And he said, you need to start journaling, writing stuff down. I was like, you know what? That's probably no different than an artist pouring their emotion onto a piece of paper and writing. Yeah. It helps get, you put it in a safe space.
You do.
You got to get it out your head because we be too in our head, especially as women. We emotional creatures, right?
I mean, it's something like that.
Are you a mother?
No babies.
No babies? Okay.
No.
Understood. Yeah. So what has it been like for you post-pandemic doing music and film?
So as soon as they opened the doors, Like, I remember just performing everywhere like
Yeah.
crazy, just like happy to be back on the stage. I will say at the start of 2023, however, like performances hasn't been the motive for me at
Yeah.
this moment. I'm more so like locking into getting ready for the next project.
Yes.
You know, dropping these singles and allowing my fans to know that they have a loyal like circle of entertainment.
Yes.
You know, whether they're watching me for my acting roles, whether they're watching me to see what projects I'm connected to, whether they're watching me to like listen to new music and everything like that. But I just wanted to get to a place where everything I'm putting out there is consistent and it's motivational to get somebody else off of their, you know, hard place. Or
100%. Absolutely. So what are you doing to make sure that you're staying directly connected and engaged with your fans and supporters?
On all platforms now, like, you know, that TikTok that's a beast.
Yeah.
But I feel like we duking it out a little bit. So I'm getting better on the TikTok. That, and then just like, you know, interacting more. Like, it's not so much about what I got to put out to everybody,
Yeah.
but like also what do they need from me? Like opening the door to conversation to people. Like, how can I help you guys? What do you want to see next? What do you want to hear
Love
next?
it.
Like, because they want to feel like they're in this process with me.
100%.
Yeah.
That's so dope. Yeah, you want to ask them, like, what do you want me to do? What do you want to see from me next? Like you said, they want to feel like they're a part of your journey.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's important. Do you have a name for your fans or your supporters?
The Slayers. The Slayers.
The Slayers. I
Yes.
love it. That is so dope. Hashtag the Slayers.
Yup.
Is it with an S or a Z?
A S.
Okay.
But then the LAY is capital because it's Lay.
Oh, hello.
Slay.
Boom. There you go.
Yeah.
That is so dope. So, you know, what are some of the things that you're working on right now?
So I just dropped a single yesterday. It's called Been There. Man, that I feel like pushed me to a new level. Like, it feels industry worthy. Like, it's so gritty and raw. And then the visuals insane. Shout out to my videographer, Cray Vision. It's just out of this world. Like, it's about to do some numbers for sure.
That is so dope. Who came up with the concept for the video?
It was one of the moments where we really just said, this is the first video where we're not even gonna go in there with like a play-by-play.
Yeah.
We just knew we wanted a space with good energy, with good visuals, and we're gonna go in there and just collaborate, freestyle off of the moment and create our own energy in the room.
That's dope.
And I'll say that might be the next the next way we do the next one, because it worked out. It allowed us to just be free.
Absolutely. It's the most organic.
Yeah, it was.
You're
It
not
really was.
overthinking
No.
it. You don't get stressed out if the stuff that you plan doesn't go the right way because there really was no plan. We're just in there freestyling it and putting it together.
And we
That's
know
dope.
what we want to say. We know what we want to show. So let's just find the best way to do it.
Absolutely. So you've been doing film for how long?
Oh, let's see. I would say professionally, I've been doing film for about like 8 years.
Okay, so you've been doing it for a hot little minute.
Yeah.
What's one of your biggest accolades?
I would say the upcoming stuff right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
They can stay tuned for
Yeah,
it.
they can stay tuned for it, but it's definitely been what I just completed. Like, I amazed myself on that one.
Dope. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Is that something that should be released this year?
Yeah, definitely.
So they can definitely stay tuned for it.
Within months, actually. So keep your eyes open.
With music and film, what's the biggest like hurdle, struggle, obstacle that you had to overcome?
I would say for me, it was being honest with myself.
Yeah.
Because I knew that I was climbing into an industry where a lot of times they can try to persuade you to be something else because that works.
Yes.
And so a lot of times you will feel like what you have to offer may, one, already be done, or it may not be good enough.
Yes.
And so for me, it was just like really accepting, you know what? Not everybody in this room is going to like what I have to say or like what I've prepared to do. But that's okay, because somebody somewhere still needs this from me.
100%.
So I'm going to be secure in that and get it out there regardless of the like doubts that I may even have about
Right.
it.
And that's why it's important to have a solid team around you.
Yes.
That way they can be like, nah, sis, don't do that. I know they're trying to sway you this way, but that's not for you. Because a lot of times the person who's in that position may want something so bad that we don't see the bad in it.
Yeah.
But it takes someone from the outside to say, nah, that's not for you. That's not a good move. And it seems like you got a real good solid team around you.
I do.
Who did you bring with you today?
Okay, so I got P.S. I'm Slade. That's Orion in the building on the hair. We got Cray Vision, who is doing the behind the scene visuals. As always, Cray has the camera. And then we got AMS CEO Buddy in the room with us as well.
Dope. Yeah. Shout out to the team.
Yep.
Y'all brought all the good energy, positive vibes, most definitely.
Listen, you set the tone when you came and got us at the door. You like, come on in.
Come on in, girl. Yeah. Hair looking good. Looking like a whole snack.
Okay, see, you with it.
Yes, most definitely. So where do you aspire to go with your music?
With my music, I definitely want to be writing for artists.
Yes.
Like, I feel like I'm very, very versatile. That's something that's going to set me apart, like, miles in this industry, because I can give a song to this artist and turn around and write a song for that artist.
Yes.
And it's going to sound completely different. You wouldn't even know it's coming from me because it's just so much in this head of mine. So that would be number one for me.
Yeah.
It's writing for, different artists. And then also my own personal goal is just reaching that next level of like streaming and just getting that one single that's really going to stick.
Absolutely. You keep throwing them out there. Eventually one of them will really stick. And I think that's dope that you are open to writing for the artists because a lot of them need it. They're so busy and active with whatever they got going on. They may not have time to sit down and write their own music.
Right.
When you get to a level of a Drake or a Wayne or whatever, there ain't nothing wrong with having someone write for you. You're busy doing everything else. You know what I'm saying? So it's okay to let someone step in and do that.
Yeah.
Most definitely. Let's talk about, you've done a few shows. Any in particular that's been real standout for you?
As far as like rap shows, or you mean like, oh yeah. If we had the one that stood out the most when I first started rapping, I don't know what in the world possessed me to go up there, but I had just moved to LA, just started rapping, no stylist, no team. I got footage of how I looked in Tampa. Baby. Woo! I'm gonna have to show you after the interview because you're gonna get a giggle out of it. But BET at the time was having like this rap competition. It was called like the Next Rap Star.
Okay.
And so I'm like, okay, I mean, I can rap, so let me just take my little self down there. And it was this long line that I had like stood in like all morning long. And they ended up closing the door, but I got in.
Yeah.
And so once you got in, I think like you had to perform a song. I got to that level. Then the next level, you had to do like a rap battle against somebody else. Got past that level. And then the last level was like a freestyle. When I tell you, I was like not prepared for none of this stuff. But each time, like, I kept getting selected, and it shocked me because, like I said, I had just started rapping, so the confidence wasn't really there. The style wasn't there. And I remember when we got to the final round, they were saying that they were critiquing us on our wardrobe, which clearly I did not have, baby. I had on wedges and like a windbreaker. Like, it was so bad.
She said wedges and a windbreaker.
That, just like no makeup, damn near, like just all of that. They were, it was on that. It was on a following.
Yeah.
At the time, I may have had like 2,000 followers. Like, I did not have the things that they were looking for in the competition. And I'll never forget, I made it into the top 10 that night. And the judges straight up told me, you don't have nothing that we are looking for in this competition. But when it comes to your creativity, your voice, your style, there is something about you that we could not let you make it into this top 10. Like, you're going to go far. Just keep doing whatever the hell you're doing.
Yeah.
'Cause it's going to end up somewhere, And Big Tigger even ended up like hosting the final thing too.
Dope.
And he gave me some words on the side. And it was just like to get that confirmation so early, especially when I was like insecure about all of it.
Yeah.
That probably was the most rewarding performance I've had so far.
Man, that's dope. And honestly, like the wardrobe and stuff, that's like material stuff. That can be fixed.
Yeah.
If you go on there with no talent and you don't know how to rap and you don't know how to that sometimes can't be fixed. That takes a whole lot of work. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So fortunately, you had probably a up on other people out there because they look good. They
did
the
look
part.
good, yeah, because they was like hair done, makeup done. That some people had on skirts and heels, and I'm like, what the hell? I ain't even had time to go home and change. Like, but you're right. You're right.
So did this all take place in one day, or was it over a period of time?
That's the thing. Like, it was literally, you get there, you go step by step by step. Like, they're cutting people all day long. So I was there all day to the point where, like, I didn't even have time to go home and change. Other people kind of maybe had some sort of like preconceived notion of how these things go.
Yeah.
So they were like all glammed out and fully ready for the night performance. And I ain't had time to do all that. I wasn't prepared at all. But that also taught me, stay ready. So you don't gotta get ready. You know?
Period.
So, there we go.
The pandemic taught a lot of people that too. I tell people all the time, you got to be proactive rather than reactive, because a lot of people got messed up during the pandemic. You know what I'm saying? Losing their job and didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
You know, but people like us who are entrepreneurs, we're like, shoot, we got this. You know what I'm saying? We kept on moving. If that type of opportunity circle back around for you, the BET one or something similar, would you take part?
I would. I feel like I would, just because like it was still an opportunity to grow under pressure.
Yeah.
And that's something that a lot of times you need to experience so that way you don't fumble when it happens.
100%.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Most definitely. There's a lot of dope talent out here, right?
Mm-hmm.
What sets you apart?
Oh my gosh. I just feel like my energy. I'm a chameleon. I can adapt to whatever's in the room and just give you the best parts of me. And another thing is, like, I guess because of the acting and everything, like, I'm very honest.
Yes.
You just have to be. I have to be honest with myself, honest with my music, with my family, with my friends. Like, I can't sugarcoat nothing. If it's not what it is, I'm not about to lie to you. I'm going to tell you exactly what it is. And because of that, I feel like people are drawn to me because they know I'm not going to, even on my journey to the top, I'm not going to fake it and make it seem like it is what it is.
I love it.
Like, no, I can't do that.
Absolutely. And you're going to go a lot further. People know when it's cap. And they know when it's real. People respect you more, and you're going to draw the right people into you when you're giving them 100% you.
That part. And there's another gem, because, you know, a lot of times as entertainers, we focus on the numbers. And so it's just like, we want to get these mass crowds. But I learned over time, like, it ain't even about that. Like, yes, okay, the music industry is definitely a numbers game. But it's also about just attracting the people that authentically want you
100%.
and need you, you know?
Absolutely.
That means more to me than numbers
Absolutely.
right now.
Absolutely. I totally agree. Because those numbers will grow.
Yeah.
You know, most definitely. Do you make like a variety of music?
Yes.
Like something for the ladies, something for the fellas, something for the strip club?
All of that.
A little bit of everything?
Like, and I find joy in that. Because it's like some people, they want you to have like a specific sound. Or one question they be like is, oh, if you could sound like any other artist, like who you most sound like in the industry. Don't ask me no dang old question.
Laywills, hello.
Like, who sound like me? Because I got so many different sounds. That's the real question.
Facts. We going to go on YouTube and see a Laywills type beat. You know what I'm saying?
That part.
Period.
That part. So yeah, no, I love the versatility. That's what drives me.
Absolutely. And I think that's important. In order for an artist, to me, in my opinion, to be a mega superstar, they got to have that ability to create different sounds.
Right.
If you sound the same on every song, it becomes boring and redundant. People going to tune out.
That part. You telling the same damn story over and over and over. Can we get something else?
I know. Facts. Absolutely. Have you done any recent collabs with other artists?
Oh, yeah. On my last project, which was called Class Act, streaming everywhere now. It's the
Period.
best project out there to date. I actually had a song called Step Off with Mac Sauce.
Okay. Shout out to he's a character, isn't he?
Oh yeah, a lot of high energy there too.
Yes.
Like that whole track is just a lot of like noise in the background and action and just sound effects. It's amazing.
Yes, I interviewed him probably. Gosh, it had to have been 5 years ago.
Nice.
And he was so unique. That's the best word to describe it. In a good way.
Yeah.
You definitely remembered him. He made sure that when he left 5 years later, I still remember who he is. There's some other artists that I may have interviewed a year ago and I can't remember them. You know what I'm saying? Because some people don't make that lasting impression.
Yeah.
Most definitely. What do you got in store? You got the movie in the works. What else you got in store that people can stay in tune for?
So that Been There video is dropping. So like I said, I think that's number one on the hit list. That is coming out very, very, very soon, and it's gonna be insane. Like best work to date.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Is it dropping on your YouTube?
Yep.
Under Laywills?
Yes, it is.
Most definitely. While we're on that, tell everybody where they can follow you on all your socials.
So all my socials is under Laywills. That's Laywills.
Yeah, don't mess up like I did and put an extra I in there.
It's okay. For some reason,
talking
they
about,
want
Willis?
me to be Willis. Like, what you talking about,
What you talking about, Willis?
That's what y'all want from me? Lay, what you talking about, Willis? But no, it's Laywills, y'all. And yeah, you can find everything on there.
Most definitely. And shout out to your videographer.
Yes.
Like, he's so professional.
He
This
is.
whole process of him and I going back and forth talking has just been like a breeze.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to make sure you knew that, because there are sometimes when artists have people representing them, and it makes me not want to deal with the artist because they got somebody so unprofessional.
Mm-hmm.
And, you get what I'm saying?
I know exactly what you're saying. Baby, I'm blessed.
Yes, you are super
We
blessed.
good over here. So a double shout out to Cray Vision.
Yes.
Because he can work the camera and apparently he can work his fingers when it's time to, send
He's
these
been very like proactive in responding
Yeah.
and stuff. Like, I'll sometimes hit people back, and I'm saying this to throw shade because yes, I'm throwing shade. You know what I'm saying? I will hit them, and then like 4 days later, I won't hear nothing back. Right?
Oh, wow.
So then they'll hit me and be like, "Did you get my email, bro? Did you get mine? I sent it to you 4 days ago." You know what I'm
See?
saying? It's that type of communication that will mess an artist's career up.
Mm-hmm.
So you got a good team in your corner. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
and I'm very, very blessed to have all of them. Thank all of y'all that are on the Laywills / Slayers team. Y'all doing y'all thing.
Slayers, most definitely. Anybody you want to give a shout out to?
My mommy.
Yeah. Aw,
Yes.
Shout out to Mom Duke. Sis, where's she in South Carolina?
She is in Charleston, South Carolina.
Okay. Most definitely. Anybody else?
No, just all the Slayers that are, supporting me and helping me make this possible. I could not be here without y'all.
Pax.
Yeah.
We are live, Industry's Most Wanted.
Industries.
Boom. We got Laywills in the building. Go ahead and let everybody know what makes you the Industry's Most Wanted.
Oh, I'm the industry's most wanted because there ain't nobody like Lay. Okay. Laywills will come and shut it down. Just book me.
Period. I can't wait for you to shut my birthday bash
Oh
down.
my gosh.
Yes.
Listen, I'm excited about that too. It's going to be a good time.
It's going to be a whole vibe. Anything else before we get up out of here you want to make sure everybody knows about?
Yeah, just follow me, like I said, on all social media platforms. We got Class Act out streaming everywhere. We got my other EP, Upper Class, and then we have Preschool, which is my baby first EP, but still got a hit track list of 6 songs that you're going to want to hear to get to know Laywills.
Man, most definitely. It was a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. We up out of here, y'all.
Yeah.
Red lights, all I see is green. I've been playing the traffic since my first EP. Got the nerve to call me ratchet. I should burn you with a match and loan the bill for your funeral as a peep.